Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us for a wine review. Foti and I, are going to do a very interesting story, a deep history, and some really cool facts about this wine. I'm more interested in learning about the backstory of the wine than I am in tasting it at this point, because Foti made it sound so interesting. But let me introduce Foti Stamos, and he's going to take over. What's up, Foti?
Ari, how are you? Thank you so much for that great introduction. As always, I always look forward to our tasting reviews. We're very
Yeah.
fortunate to get to try a lot of great wine. And it's also fun to be able to come across wines that are hard to come across, which leads me to this specific wine review. Um, and we are very fortunate that we got our hands on some wine from the famous Charidimos Hatzidakis out of Santorini.
Oh wow! So you told me a little bit about him, and there's a great and interesting backstory to this wine. But tell us, why is it hard to come by? Is it?
Well, yeah, absolutely. I mean, first and foremost, I mean, if there's anyone that actually we need to feature and discuss about the renaissance of Greece's wine industry, the evolution of Greece's wine industry, the progression of Greece's wine industry, this particular individual spent many years starting from ground zero in Charidimos, was true to the nature of being very passionate and having a vision of what Greece has to offer when it comes to grape production to wine production. Charidimos took on a internship and a involvement in the Boutari winery, and he was sent to Santorini to make wine for Boutari back in the 90s. And there he is where he developed um, his expertise, his craftsmanship in understanding the landscape, understanding the soils, the geography, the climate, what Santorini has to offer, and and as time went on, he was making some great wine. And I used to follow 20 years ago the Boutari wine production, and Santorini wine in the lineup of Boutari was one of their best sellers.
Oh, wow.
And it's because Charidimos was behind the wine production, and obviously Boutari did a great job marketing their wine from Santorini. It was one of the best selling SKUs in the US market for the last 25 years. And through his journey with Boutari, he was, I think, sent to Crete as well to look over at the winery for Boutari in Crete, because they have a winery there as well. And is where he met his wife, who Kostadina, who happens to be from Santorini. And his wife has, or their family has, some property, had some vineyards in Santorini, which they decided, they got married, they went back to Santorini, they took over the family vineyards, and decided to start a winery out of a cave in Santorini. Small, really production where it was the two of them and him, cultivating the grapes, tending to the vineyards, and he had that. There's a term in France called garagiste, which is basically they're called garage wineries, like making wine out of your garage. Similar approach, but in a little cave, if that paints the picture of what he was trying to do. And he was so devoted and so passionate that the two words that describe what he was able to accomplish making wine in Santorini was pure and powerful, was basically the two words that I can think of when you drink his wines.
Mm-hmm.
So he really started to get an international recognition. His wines were outstanding. They really were stunning in a lineup of other wines that were coming out of the area, whether it was Santorini or Greece. And he really raised the eyebrows of many critics around the world. And they started to follow him from vintage to vintage on what he was doing. And mind you, Ari, This particular winery today still produces less than 300 cases a year.
So that's one of the reasons it's so hard to find and rare.
He truly believed the potential. Unfortunately, Santorini happens to be a very small island to begin with, and out of that small island, you can only imagine that there's only so much land that can be, used for growing grapes. So production levels are minimal. So the wines are fantastic, production levels are low, demand goes up. Everybody wants wines from Santorini, and this is where we get caught up with, having a great wine and having a hard time to get it.
Yeah. Well, now we got it.
Now we got it. So thanks to our friends in the market who are bringing the wines here, that we actually were able to score some inventory of one of the wines at the moment from the Hatzidakis Winery, which is 100% Assyrtiko. We've done other wine reviews with wines from Santorini, but this really is a special treat for us.
Yeah. So you're telling me that some interesting facts, but you want to do a taste now and describe it for us?
Yes. So this is the lineup that we have that's just launched on our platform from Hatzidakis Winery. This is their Familia Santorini. It's 100% Assyrtiko, single vineyard production, all estate grown fruit. So this is a very eclectic wine because it is tend to in a small space. They pay attention to the production from the grape growing all the way to the actual winemaking in that facility. I can't tell you the words that I think is another word that describes the productions from Hatzidakis is precise. These wines are precise. And what does that mean? It means that from beginning to end, these wines deliver exactly what it means when it comes to the word balance. Aromas, textures, flavors, and finish are all in sync, in line to be able to touch the senses of smell, taste, and feel, that they're so what's synchronized is the word I like to use, that it's tough to find wines of this caliber at such a price point where if this was coming out of France, Burgundy, so for example, you would be paying in the hundreds and hundreds of dollars for this type of quality.
Wow.
So 100% Assyrtiko. And again, as most Assyrtikos are extremely aromatic, and that's because of what's being released from the volcanic soils. Lots of minerals are being released, and you really get that right in the nose immediately. People are like, what does that mean, minerally? So basically, these aromas are reminding of us. You think of Santorini, you think of it as a volcanic island, volcanic soils. So if that can help you kind of drive your mind to understanding what these aromas are like, it's also like some flintiness that's going on. That flintiness is interesting because, I don't know, maybe you think of a volcanic that's kind of smoking, right? You think of the soils that have like some heat. That's where I kind of get that flintiness from. But definitely a very attractive bouquet when it comes to the aromas. And it's so hard to just not take a sip, so I'm going to take a sip. And right away, Ari, your palate is woken. All right, so your taste buds are just like lively right now. They're being coated with the combination of that citrus fruit along with the acidity that comes along with Assyrtiko, and then that clean finish that just refreshes you.
So all the legends around the winery are true.
Yes, they are, and that's because I'm confirming that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was the wonderful wine, elegant. This is a treat for us because we don't get to drink wines of this caliber that often.
Yeah. Okay, so tell us now what this winery is up to. What's going on?
So, as we mentioned, Haridimos paved the road for high quality wines out of Santorini. He really was on the become the headliner out of the islands everywhere globally. Unfortunately, Haridimos did pass several years ago tragically, um, and his daughters, specifically his oldest daughter Stella, has taken over the operation,
Oh, wow.
and she's assembled an all-female team at the winery to make the wine, which is fun and interesting and exciting.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Um, and they are in the process, and I'm not sure if they're finished, but they are in the process of building a new winery that, from what I understand and was told, is being actually developed in the cave with tunnels. So it's
Oh,
pretty cool. I
cool.
mean, but we are so excited to see what else is going to come through the pipeline. Where now they're on our radar. Our suppliers that we work with know that we are, on their preferred list when anything is released from them, that we want to get it, and we want to get it fast.
That's awesome. I'm really excited about this wine. I love stories, true life stories connected to the brands that we sell, and
Absolutely.
everybody has an interesting story behind what they do, and we try to feature these amazing producers of amazing things, on our shopping platforms. So
Excellent, excellent, excellent. And we love bringing the stories to you. We love bringing the wine to you. We make it accessible. That's because we've put our hard work and efforts in realizing that this needs to be done. So what we did is we put all of our hard work into bringing wine to you that is so easy that all you have to do is download our app, find the product you want, click on a button, and off it goes, and it'll be right at your door in a very short time.
that sounds good to me.
I'll drink to that.
I will always drink to that. Thank you, Foti, so much for the story and the review. I can't wait to try this. Hopefully, we could spare one of the few bottles that we have that I could taste it. But
You better hurry up.
yeah, I'm super excited about that. Thank you again, and available on all our platforms that sell wine. Check it out, and we'll see you next time. Thank you so much.
Cheers.
Cheers.